keen to have you awake, energised and up to date just in time for that 9 a.m. class. So Anita, what are the top stories of today?
Well, Patrick, the Tuscan Times brings a startling obesity epidemic at Monash Plateau to our attention this morning. New research suggests that the common diet of 5 pizzas, 3 pastas and 8 gelatos per day is not as good for young bodies as previously thought. On a happier note, News of Florence announces that all margaritas are now €2 between 6:30pm and 8:30pm every day. Finally, in a historical breakthrough, the 8:30 train from Florence to Prato was on time this morning. More on these stories in a moment. Now it's over to Ira for today's weather.
Welcome to another beautiful morning here in Prato. As you can see from the scorching temperature behind me, climate change is increasingly taking its toll on the European summer. Luckily, our fantastic sponsors, Honda, continue to lead the pack in creating environmentally friendly automobiles. To tell us more about the dynamic climate in which they operate, we will now cross to Lara for her pastel analysis.
To understand the climate in which any business operates, we need to consider political, environmental, sociocultural, technological, economic and legal factors. Looking at how Honda competes as one of the leading producers of alternatively fueled vehicles makes the environmental, sociocultural and technological climates most relevant to our study. So let's take a closer look at some key facts in these areas. In the environmental arena, the increasing impact and awareness of global warming is putting pressure on car producers to find and develop the use of alternative fuels. Also, worries about the declining supply of petroleum are one of the factors causing fuel prices to rise. Because this is important to consumers and the environment, Honda established voluntary targets for the reduction of CO2 emissions from its products by 2020. Such programs are fairly common in the industry. Now, let's take a look at some sociocultural factors. If a car company is to sell reduced emissions vehicles, which cost more than regular petrol-powered cars, they need to understand what consumers are willing to pay more for. Research reveals that green consumers are most likely to be married women with at least one child. They are also likely to be college-educated and democratic voters. These consumers tend to cluster in geographical communities and have higher than average valued homes. For these consumers, hybrid car ownership is closely tied to status. Whilst these green consumers fit with the 29% of car shoppers who cited environmental friendliness as their top reason for purchasing a particular car, 62% said fuel efficiency was their top priority. It is important for firms to remember that 80% of commuters in the US drive less than 60 kilometres a day. Often, it's this commute which is the primary reason that people purchase a car. Finally, to be a leader in the hybrid electric market, Honda needs to stay abreast of the 3 key areas of technological development. These are distance per charge, time per charge, and cost per charge. In addition to this, alternative production methods of hybrid vehicles need to be developed as quickly as possible. The supply of necessary rare earth elements is under threat. These come primarily from China, which has recently introduced export quotas in response to speculation that natural resources are rapidly declining. To give you some insight into how Honda has carved its place in such a challenging industry, we will now cross back to Ira.
My name's Ira and I'll be taking you through a brief analysis on Honda as a company, which will consider their objectives, strategies, capabilities, and both internal and external fit within the environment. Honda aims to supply automobiles and their components that are not only of high quality, but are sold at the most competitive and reasonable price to consumers. They strive to satisfy their consumer base while ensuring that their affiliated companies and shareholders are able to flourish. They also seek to increase the technological level of the Japanese automobile industry, as well as embrace the challenges associated with globalization and create a new value and commitment for the future. In achieving their objectives, Honda adopts an innovative approach to their strategy. Unlike other automobile manufacturers, Honda has manufacturing affiliates that operate autonomously throughout the world that design and produce vehicles based on the conditions and consumer behaviour unique to that region. In striving to enhance the creativity of its labourers and ensure that they are engaged within their jobs, Honda's factories are the most labour-intensive in the automobile industry, where robotics are only employed in hazardous areas or in areas where human labour is not fit. Additionally, Honda's CEOs pride themselves on continual research and development, where the success is measured by how well they are able to facilitate individual creativity to the rest of the organisation to develop a unique corporate culture that optimises its localised strategy. In examining the strategic behaviour of Honda, it is evident that they are capable of simultaneously conducting business operations on both a local and international level. They are able to fit into their external environment as they not only plan accordingly for each of the macro forces as previously discussed, but because they have localized their strategies in many regions globally. In addition, they fit into their internal environment by ensuring that their employees are managed accordingly to promote creativity and ensure that they are continually engaged within an innovative culture. Despite their success, Honda is never truly satisfied. Management is continually seeking more strategic choices by critically evaluating the decisions and actions of the firm. This is the gateway to optimizing customer satisfaction and solving the economic, environmental, and social concerns that are faced internationally. Grazie, that's all from me, and I'll now pass to Anita for her in-depth customer analysis.
Those individuals who are environmentally aware and who consider the impacts of their actions on the state of the earth. Within the last few years, the concept of appearing socially aware has been something that has been more trendy and in style, with celebrities such as Leonardo DiCaprio and many others seen driving environmentally friendly cars. Being priced at around $30,000, Honda's hybrid cars are also targeted at low to moderate income earners. Being both economically efficient and affordable make these cars targeted at all individuals of all age groups. As well as being economically efficient, Honda's engines are also extremely safe. Honda states very clearly on its website, they are committed to providing safety for everyone. That means crash protection not only for their own drivers, but also passengers. Hence, Honda is very much targeted at those customers who are concerned with their safety and intend to comply with the legal safety requirements.
Honda's international range of hybrid electric vehicles includes the Accord, CR-Z and Fit Hybrid, as well as previously the Insight and Civic, which were discontinued in 2014 and 2015 respectively. As of June 2014, Honda has sold more than 1.35 million hybrid electric vehicles worldwide. Since the early 90s, over 50 hybrid electric vehicles have become available internationally. Competing car makers include Volvo, Toyota, Volkswagen, GMC, Mitsubishi, BMW, Porsche, Kia, Hyundai, and Mazda. The Toyota Prius has dominated this market since its introduction internationally in 2000. In 2014, sales of the Prius were almost 60 times greater than those of Honda's best-selling hybrid, the Accord. Honda has gained some ground in recent years, and in 2011 was the 8th largest car manufacturer in the world. However, it is still dwarfed by Toyota, which is the largest. Toyota therefore has advantage in its ability to mass produce, conduct research, and innovate. Although the Honda Insight had the best fuel economy of any vehicle at the time of its introduction and was introduced a whole month before the Toyota Prius, its sales performance was never impressive. International sales of the first generation, available from 2000 until 2006, totaled only 18,000. An analysis of Toyota's goals, mission, strategy, and resources may explain why the Prius has outperformed all of Honda's hybrid electric vehicles so comprehensively. Toyota's vision is to be the most respected and admired company. As part of this, during the late 2000s, Toyota sought to become the world's largest car manufacturer. This title was achieved in 2008, and Toyota remains a giant in the automobile industry. As for Toyota's mission, this is to deliver outstanding automotive products and services to their customers and enrich their community, their partners, and the environment. The Prius rode a wave of growing environmental concern and eventually even became a symbol of this movement. A marketing research firm in the US state of Oregon found in 2007 that over half of Prius owners purchased the car because it made a statement about who they were. Toyota's strong commitment to the community and environment helped bring this about. Toyota employs long-term planning and extensive research to create robust, enduring products. The Prius is a good illustration of this strategy, where the product came close to preempting consumer demand for hybrid electric vehicles. As for Toyota's resources, as one of the world's largest car manufacturers, Toyota has significant resources in both production and research. This means that Toyota is able to better predict consumer trends as well as innovate. These are crucial characteristics in the hybrid electric industry. Giovanni, what can you tell us about Honda's collaborators?
Thanks, Patrick. Well, auto manufacturers compete with each other on a daily basis. Therefore, collaborative projects are quite rare. Nonetheless, Honda has participated in a small number of fructose partnerships over the past 3 decades. The first one is that with Isuzu. Honda and Isuzu were able to get together in the early 90s for some good times, and what we see in front of us today is the end result of their friend with benefits relationship. During their brief relationship, they've been able to produce the Isuzu Dio and the Honda Passport. Both vehicles were slapped together on the Lafayette, Indiana assembly line, and according to a report from August 1994 by the New York Times, Honda took the easy route, working out a deal with Isuzu to put its own badges on a four-door vehicle. Of most significance to Honda's position is the LEV industry. However, is its ongoing partnership with General Motors. A collaboration agreement that was signed in 2007 focuses on a co-developed next-generation fuel cell system and hydrogen storage technologies. The collaborators are working towards a 2020 deadline. Together, the two companies are able to take advantage of a shared expertise, economies of scale, and common sourcing techniques. We can deduct from these two examples that the Japanese Honda is not a company where partnership is at the first place, not only in car manufacturers, but also in all the other market sectors where Honda is present. On the other hand, we need to point out that the few collaborations that the company decided to carry out have been fructuous. Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks for that, Giovanni. Very informative. Now, just in case you're wondering about those margaritas we mentioned earlier, they definitely get our ticket of approval. Stay classy, Prado.
Cheers.
Cheers.